Good day, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about adding, subtracting fractions. Well, we're going to begin by adding, subtracting fractions. This is certainly going to be a review. This will be like a 4th or 5th grade standard, but essential that we review this to be able to add and subtract rational expressions. They're kind of difficult. So let's start with a very simple example right here of 3/7 plus 2. Well, I could write that if I wanted to. Yep, that's just 2 3/7. But I want to go about the process of how we're going to get to 2 3/7, or more importantly, as a mathematician, what is 2 3/7? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this 3/7 plus 2. In order to add two numbers, you have to have like denominators. So I have to realize that this 2 is over a 1. So I have to make that 1 a 7. How do I make that 1 a 7? I multiply it by 7. But if I multiply the bottom by 7, I have to multiply the top by 7 as well. So what I'm actually doing is multiplying 1 2 times 1. And I'm just changing the way that 2 looks. Well, and we know 2 is another word for 2 is 14/7. And I choose 14/7 because this 3/7 has a denominator of 7. So what is 3/7 plus 14/7? 3 plus 14 over 7, which is 17/7. And this is how we want to write that answer. Keep in mind where we're going. We're going to do the same stuff to algebraic rational expressions. So here's another example. Again, we know how to do this. 5/12 plus 3/4. I have to have common denominators, and most of the time I want to find the least common denominator of these two fractions. And what is the least common denominator? It's going to be the least common multiple of 4 and 12, which is 12. And how do I turn 4 into 12? I'm going to multiply 4 times 3. But if I multiply the bottom by 3, I have to multiply the top by 3. And note that all I'm doing is multiplying 3/4 times 1. So what is 3/4 times 1 in the form of 3 over 3? 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. So now I have 5/12 plus 9/12 is 5 plus 9 over 12, which is 14/12, and I can reduce that to 7/6. Okay, so now this is just a review of some 4th and 5th grade standards so that we can do these kind of problems. And the assignment for this particular video is going to be different. We're trying to deal with the fact that a lot of students are using photo math, and in this case, you're not going to learn anything from photo math. So the assignment is going to have you repeat, there's 4 examples, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and to create your own problem. So please pay very close attention. So what do I want to do here? I want to subtract 2 over b minus 5. What do I have to do? I have to have like denominators, and I realize that this is this. I'm going to rewrite the problem over here. This is 2 over b minus 5, and keep in mind, what is that? 5 over 1. So I need to have this part right here needs to have a denominator of b. What I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply this b over b, which is 1. Now what do I have? So now I have 2 over b minus 5 times b is 5b. 1 times b is b. And now I have the like denominators. So all I'm going to do is subtract the numerators. 2 minus 5b over b. You don't cross these b's out. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is your simplified answer. This is your answer. That's your answer. Okay? Don't do anything with that. That's simplified. That's example 1. Let's go to example 2. Example 2, I'm going to rewrite it here. Oh, I have 3 guys. I have 3 terms. 3 over y plus 6. And I have to realize that I'm putting that over 1 and that over 1. And in order to add fractions or rational expressions, I have to have common denominators. So I have to put this dude over y and this dude over y. How do I do that? I'm going to multiply both of them. I'm going to rewrite the problem here. Y times, let's write this in blue, y over y, because that's going to give me a y on the bottom here, and I can write that 1 there, plus 6 over 1. And what am I going to multiply that bad boy to? I'm also going to multiply him by y over y. So now I'm going to have like denominators. So here we go. We have 3 over y. Hey, y times y is y squared. 1 times y is y. 6 times y is 6y. 1 times y is y. So now I have like denominators. And now all I need to do is add the numerators. So the solution then is going to be 3 plus y squared plus 6y over y. And you stop there. You stop there. Don't do anything with that. That just stays. That just stays. You do not change that at all. That just remains. Okay? Let's go to example 3. Example 3. I'm going to rewrite the problem. It's 5 over 2x minus 3 plus 3 over x. What do I need? I need like denominators. I need the least common multiple of those 2 denominators. Let's see here. What would that be? Oh, I know what it would be. I think the denominator is going to be x times 2x minus 3. That's what the denominator is going to be, x times 2x minus 3. That's going to be our least common multiple of these numbers. So now my question is, how do I make this 2x minus 3 x times 2x minus 3? What do? You betcha. I multiply this guy by x over x. And I know what x times 2x minus 3 is, and I don't need to multiply that out. What's 5 times x? 5x. So how do I change this x into x times 2x minus 3? You got it. You're going to multiply the top and bottom by 2x minus 3. If you need to pause the video, go ahead. So x times 2x minus 3 is just x times 2x minus 3. And now I have to multiply this top out because I'm going to have to simplify the top. So 3 times 2x is 6x. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. So now I'm ready to add these fractions because I have like denominators. And here's my like denominators. Okay. What I'm going to do here so I can get to that next problem. Oh, let's see here. Alrighty. So now I'm going to just rewrite the denominator. X times 2x minus 3. You can simplify that or you don't have to, but what do I have on the top? On the top I have 5x plus 6x minus 9. I definitely want to simplify the top. And what does the top simplify to? 11x minus 9 over x times 2x minus 3. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your simplified answer. Do not try to factor the x's or factor the 9's. Don't do anything. Just leave that go. That is your answer. Okay? Leave that bad boy. All right, if you need to pause the video to look at what we've done, you can always rewind the video. Had like denominators. The least common multiple was just the multiple of both of the denominators. All right. You can always pause the video. Let's go to the last example here. Okay, so this is the problem we're on right here. Let's rewrite the problem. It's 2 over 2w minus 10 minus 7w minus 1 over w minus 5. And keep in mind, this is example 4. You are going to have to recreate on your own problem that's very similar to number 4. I will not take the exact problem that I have here. So you're going to have to create your own problem. So what do I want? I need, in order for me to subtract these fractions, I have got to have common denominators. Golly gee. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to factor this denominator here. And I see that that's 2. If I factor, both has a factor of 2. And oh, and I could kind of see that had a factor of w minus 5. So I'm going to rewrite this fraction this way. 2 over 2 times w minus 5 minus 7w minus 1 over w minus 5. Okay? Now, if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, that if I have this fraction right here, I can cancel factors. 2 is a factor here. So guess what I can do? I can cancel these 2's, just like I did in the previous video. I can cancel that and that. This guy here becomes a 1. So now what do I have? I have 1 over w minus 5 minus 7w minus 1 over w minus 5. And now what am I going to do? I'm going to put this over w minus 5. I have a common denominator. So now I'm going to do the operation on the numerators. And what do I have? I have 1 minus. Here's where you're going to make a mistake. It's 1 minus this whole thing here. So it's 1 minus 7w minus 1. Oh, so you mean it's going to be on the top 1 minus 7w plus 1 over w minus 5? You betcha. And what that's going to be, 1 plus 1 is 2 minus 7w over w minus 5. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Okay, we're going to do one more. And keep in mind, this is your final answer. Nothing you can do with it. Okay, we're going to leave that there. And we're going to come up with one more problem. I have time for one more problem. I'm going to create this problem on the fly. So I'm going to have x plus 1 over x minus 3 minus 4x over x plus 2. This is going to be a dandy. I need the common denominator for me to subtract those fractions. What's the common denominator? Well, I'm going to tell you. The common denominator is going to be the multiple of those two things. And we're just going to write it this way. X minus 3 times x plus 2. Give me a little room here. Alrighty. Minus x minus 3 over x plus 2. Now I'm going to ask myself a question. What does this guy have? What does this guy have that this guy doesn't? And you're right, and x plus 2. So I'm going to have to multiply this, x plus 2 over x plus 2. And the nice thing about this, I'm not going to multiply the bottom. Keep in mind, multiplying the top by x plus 2 and the bottom by x plus 2. I'm not going to multiply out the bottom, but I have to multiply out the top. So what is x plus 2 times x plus 1? That guy is going to be x squared plus x plus 2x plus 2. Now I have to think about, what does this guy have? This guy doesn't. You're right, in x minus 3. So I have to multiply this dude by x minus 3 over x minus 3. If you need to pause the video, go ahead. This is the last example here. Now I have to multiply this out. This is going to be, what do I have? I have 4x squared, whoop, and I have minus 12x. So now what do I need? Now I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to write my denominator out, which is going to be x minus 3, x plus 2. And now what am I going to do? I'm going to go x squared plus 3x plus 2 minus 4x squared minus 12x. Now I need to do the subtraction on the top, which is going to be x squared plus 3x plus 2 minus 4x squared plus 12x, all over x minus 3, x plus 2. The last step is to simplify the top. If I can extend the page, I have x squared minus 4x is going to be negative 3x squared. I have 3x plus 12x is 15x. And I have plus 2. Let's get rid of this guy. He's making me mad. All right. Divided by x minus 3 over x plus 2. You don't have to multiply out the bottom. My suggestion is just leave it as it is. Keep in mind, that is example number 5. This is number 5. Okay? So, don't simplify that. Make sure that you, if you need to, pause the video or rewind the video. You have that option. Good day.